Huh? Yeah. Amazing. Hello.
Holy cow.
So that is Avery, Bigelow Avery Peak. It's our last 4,000 foot peak before Mount Katahdin in like 180 miles, 175 in Maine. We're in Maine looking at the last 4,000 foot peak before Katahdin.
It's like right there.
It's right there. That's it. And then it's just downhill to Katahdin.
That's right.
I mean, right now it's like straight downhill west of Bigelow, but that's okay. That's all right. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, also, this is the debut video for the Lucky poll, currently unnamed. Maybe named Paulina too. Lucky, maybe Letty. Although Lucky does sound good. I like the name Lucky and Spike. That's a good.
Like naming dogs.
Like naming dogs. Look at that view from behind the sign. Oh yeah, man. Woo! So that's Bigelow West over there. There we go. And then somewhere over here is Baxter Peak. I don't know which one it is, but one of those. Somewhere over there, Baxter Peak. Can't quite get there yet, but man, gorgeous. You're gorgeous. All right, let's go to camp. We got like 2 miles. Woo!
Go see what's in this box.
Oh, there's a box.
So
You stand here on Bigelow Avery Peak. That's the marker right there. Which is momentous today because it is the last 4,000 foot peak before Mount Katahdin, which is still like 180 something miles away. Just amazing day. So glad we took a 0 yesterday so we would have perfect weather up here. And somehow like the wind even died down a little bit. So,
hey,
what a day.
hey.
It just gets better every time we take 10 steps.
On this descent, there's like 4 marked views, which is funny because I think the whole descent is just
Above tree line. Yeah. Amazing. Could not have asked for a better day in Maine. Ugh. You can see all the clouds like speckling the ground. So thankful and so grateful today.
We won't be higher than we are now until we get to Katahdin.
That's right. We won't be higher right now until we're in the tablelands of Katahdin. Let's go down this peak. Let's get to camp. Some amazing, amazing views. Look at this rock face. We were just up here. It's so high. Wow. It's just incredible. Oh, I thought there was no way to top the Saddleback stay, but man, Bigelows were trying real hard. Wow.
Some nice ones there.
Mm-hmm. Delicious. Just like, look at this trail. It's beautiful. It's like 1/10 as many routes There's no mud. There's no rocks. I actually don't know. I don't know where we are. Where are we? What year is it? Butter Trail. Oh, amazing. Ouch.
Oh, Brent.
Shroom. Cinematic cinematography there. You're welcome. This is East Carey Pond, and it's got a shoreline.
And waves.
Waves.
We can go wakeboarding.
Amazing. Amazing.
Sandy Beach, we can do sandcastles.
Hello. It is Wednesday, August 16th, and we are at the pond at Pierce Pond Lean-To. So I'm just sitting here on the shore. Did a little bit of pseudo camp laundry, wherein I just rinsed off like my muddy legs and cleaned off my shoes and my gaiters. Just enjoying this beautiful weather. We got some ominous clouds, but it looks like it's holding clear for us for now, as you can kind of see. It's more beautiful that way. So we'll point this way. So I'm sitting here on this little like rock formation. Here are my gaiters, freshly washed. And there's my shoes, missing the caking of mud that they had on them just a few minutes ago. So the shelter is up this way, just up a little bit further. And it's gorgeous today. I'm sure Scratch and maybe Chaz will go for a swim, but I don't think I will. I'm pretty tired and I'm happy to be dry. We're going into town tomorrow. We're going to Caratunk. Yeah. So I haven't done one of these like sit and chat with you videos in a while. I actually recorded one like last week. When we were summiting Saddleback, I did a 6-minute long video that was like as I was hiking, because it was the first time I'd been able to do that in a while. And when I went to watch back the video, all the audio was gone. So I don't know what happened, but have no audio from that. So you guys missed out on some stellar views there. I don't know, maybe what I'll do is for this video, instead of you just looking at my face, I'll just like cut in some of that video from the Saddleback, because it was a beautiful day and I thought it was really pretty hiking footage. So as I said, I'm just sitting here kind of on the shore. It's cool today, but it's not cold, which is really nice. We have had 3 back-to-back days of good weather, which is like unheard of in Maine. We were kind of talking about earlier about how since we entered Maine on like August 1st, so a little over 2 weeks ago, we have yet to have 3 days go according to plan. So we like set up a plan for like 3 to 4 days out. And then we have to change that plan because the weather was not cooperating, or the terrain was a lot harder, or we were, exhausted or whatever. So the 3-day stretch from Stratton to Caratunk was the only time this whole time we've been in Maine where we actually set out and did the plan that we were expecting to do. So like, cool, I guess. Yeah. In the previous video that has been lost, I explained how like I haven't really been able to do a lot of like hiking and chatting videos because the terrain has been so difficult up here. The terrain requires like constant mental focus. Pretty much since we entered New Hampshire, there's a lot of mosquitoes. They're eating me. But since we entered New Hampshire, you know, you either need both hands to climb because you're climbing up and over mountains, or you just like, you have to be paying attention because there's so many roots and rocks. And then since we've entered Maine, we've also added, there's so much mud. Maine has been, oh my God, rainy and muddy. And we keep running into locals who talk to us about how this is not normal, that this is not August in Maine weather. It kind of feels like Maine forgot to have summer this year. They've just had insane rain that has waterlogged the trail into conditions that are like pretty unprecedented, which makes for really slow going, really frustrating hiking. We've encountered some like quote unquote easier sections that we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna cruise through, and then we'll get like, you know, we'll do 3 miles in like a little over an hour, and that feels so good. And then we're like, great, we've got like 4 more miles to go, we'll be there in 2 hours, right? No, because the next 4 miles are just like ankle deep mud, and that slows us way down. And so it's hard to not like get bogged down into that, pun intended. There have been multiple days where I step knee deep into mud, and then like I have to stop, obviously, because now my foot is like essentially in quicksand. It's in quick mud, which there's a term for that up here, and I can't remember what it is, but they've like the mud equivalent of quicksand has a term, and we encounter that a lot. And so if you misstep, if you think that, oh, that's a rock there, and you step in it and you go up to your knee, well, you're stopping until you can use all of your strength to pull your leg out of the like mud, because it like suction cups to you. So you could pull out if you lose your shoe, but I don't want to lose my shoe. So that has been like really frustrating. But like also the views in this state are just incredible. You know, like this is my view right now. I'm just sitting here talking to you guys and looking at this view, and like there's a lot of little bugs on the river, or on the water, but like God, it's just beautiful. And like it's made extra beautiful, I think, because of the moody clouds, and how you can like see the reflection on the water. And some of the ponds we've come past today, it was like looking at a mirror of water that just perfectly reflected the sky and the clouds, and it's magical a lot of the time. I think that was a child and not a loon. But sometimes when we're lucky here in the lakes or the ponds, there's a loon in residence. And if you're not familiar, a loon is a bird that makes this like really haunting and ethereal call. And it's magical. It's truly one of my favorite experiences to sit at like the lake shore. So yesterday we were at the lake as well, and we had a loon, and it's a really haunting call. So yeah, we're going a lot slower through Maine than even like I had predicted. But Maine miles are hard, just like New Hampshire miles were hard, and we have to kind of keep reminding ourselves that like we're in an incredibly beautiful place, and by going slower and taking fewer miles, doing fewer miles, our bodies are like really happy. So like we don't have any like long-term aches or pains or anything, which just is like such a nice sensation to like to go to camp at night, go to bed at night, and like your feet are tired, but then you wake up the next day and you're like, I can go crush another couple mountains, and I don't need any knee braces or anything. But in the same vein, this is the first opportunity I've had to tell you guys about a pretty bad fall that I actually had a couple of days ago. It's been about a week now that it happened. So I mentioned the video that I took on Saddleback that I lost the audio for. That was on Saddleback, and the Saddleback has a main peak, and then there's the thing called the Horn, and then there's Saddleback Junior. So it's like a 3 major peak kind of day. And when we were coming down off the Horn, I was trying to step off trail to let a trail runner get by, and the rock that I was standing on fell out from under me. And when I like kind of like jumped to catch myself, I landed really badly on my right ankle. And for those who don't know, about 13 years ago, I guess now, 13 years ago, I fell and broke my ankle in college. And I spent 2.5 years on and off crutches before I had surgery about 10 years ago. To like repair the damage in my ankle, and it's been my weaker ankle ever since, and that is the ankle I fell on. And when we got to and I immediately knew that like I had messed it up. But like it felt kind of okay, and so like I just, there was nowhere else to go. We had 5 more miles to hike to camp, and so we got to camp, and like my ankle was kind of hurting the whole time, and took my shoes and my socks off, and I had a goose egg like literally under the incision from my surgery site, and I burst into tears because I thought, oh my god, here we are like 210 miles from Katahdin, and like our trip is over. But we were pretty lucky that was not the case. The swelling went down overnight, and I've been wearing my ankle brace, this sweaty gross thing now. I've been wearing that for about a week now, and I still get like little twinges, but it's mostly like most of the swelling is gone, and I'm able to hike, obviously, because I've hiked 50 something miles since then, which is like a crazy sentence to say. So it's certainly been a very challenging state, but we're plodding right along. We're like in the process of planning our flip back down to Rockfish Gap, talking about like what gear swaps we want to make, what the actual travel plans will be, and all of that is like chaotic. Like to think that here we are finishing, as I called it, phase 2 of this trip. So yeah, that's the update from Maine. Hopefully tomorrow we do the Kennebec River, which is really exciting. It's the only part of the trail that you have to ride in a canoe for. So there's a white blaze painted in the canoe, which is really funny. But we'll do that and then go into town, into Caratunk. Yeah, we're at like T-minus 2 weeks to the end of Maine. It's pretty special. So here's one last view of this amazing river. It's not a river. I keep calling it a river. It's a lake or a pond or something. That has to do with how deep the water is. If it's a lake, it's a certain depth. But if it's a pond, it's shallower, I guess. So this is where I am tonight. I hope wherever you are brings you as much joy.
You're the first person here, you can sleep in the bus if you want.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, great. And people told me later that like they've been charging people $10
wow.
to sleep in the bus, but he didn't say anything about paying. He just was like, you can sleep in the bus if you want. So I did, and then he was like, and also, I'm gonna make hamburgers and fries for dinner if you want some. And then like, I was just sitting in the hammock reading, and I came outside and he was like, I'm done working on Oh, there it is.
I'm playing ya. Uke.
Yeah, I was trying to look up the chords to All Too Well.
Oh, I don't know if I can handle that emotionally this early in the morning. At least wait until we've had OJ.
You all right?
Woo!
Made it.
Impressive.
Yeah, you did it.
Woo. And there it goes. This is the Kennebec River. Woohoo! There's a little bit of a line here, but like, who cares, man? It's gorgeous. Wow. This is so cool.
It's just a little canoe. I was expecting like a big canoe.
No, it's literally just a canoe. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so cool.
amazing.
Gotta wear our life jackets.
You have to wear your life jacket. Your mom said so.
This time I actually will.
Yeah, good. This is gorgeous. So we'll wait here till it's our turn to cross. It's a free ferry, and it's amazing. How cool! How cool!
Okay, here we are on the opposite side of the Kennebec. I don't know if you can see the bald eagle hanging out up there. Pretty cool. And Miso and Scratch are about to come across.
Welcome to the Kennebec. I have to hold off on anything on the paddle just because I have to spin it around in a tight radius here.
Okay.
Once we get past my rock marker out there, then we're out of the canal.
Very cool.
It's getting brighter down there again.
Yeah.
See something before we don't.
Yeah.
Place is gone on the opposite side, and you'll see once we get over there.
Wow.
So I have to kind of like start upriver because I know we're going to lose ground as we cross.
Interesting.
Where are you two from? Anyway, I didn't even notice on the cross. There's usually a reason. Now see how fast it is over
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
It's.
10 feet. We're going about 10 feet of water.
Oh my gosh. Ferryman is amazing. Thank you so much. What a treat. What a treat. Let's go to town.